I'll just go through all the bike and all the details and make it sound exciting. Okay, hello everyone, this is my personal Beady Little Eye. So this is the bike, probably the bike I ride more than anything. Mostly around the local woods in Bristol. I've got a really nice loop I do from my house, a bit of road, a couple of hours around the local woods, a combination of some steep tech stuff, a bit of pedally cross-country stuff, but this is the bike I ride and I love it. I love riding this bike more than anything. So it is a single speed, 29-inch Beady Little Eye frame. This particular frame was we made 3 prototypes of the V3 before we went on to do the first production batch. So I got one of the early prototype bikes, but it's essentially the same as the production one. We didn't really make any changes. Size large, it was the first bike we did in the Steelers teal colour to trial that colour out. So it's a lovely, lovely looking colour. What should we talk about then? So it is 130mm suspension on the front. I'm running a Pike, getting a bit tired this Pike, probably do the service. And then a RockShox Deluxe, just one of the basic Select Plus rear shocks, 210 by 55. So the rear shock gives 90mm of rear travel. One of the strange things about the Beady Little Eye is because the pivot is around the bottom bracket, but then the chain line is above the bottom bracket, naturally the bike tends to want to bob. So as you're pedaling, the forces on the chain cause the bike to bob. So the way you have to run this bike is with a really firm suspension setup, pretty much zero sag, and that means it resists the pedaling forces. So it sounds a silly idea, but in practice it works really well. So I've got mine set up, it's perhaps a little bit under 0% sag, and it actually means it takes out a little bit of the trail chatter, but when you stamp on the pedals, it feels like a hardtail. So yeah, 130mm front, 90mm rear. I've got this bike built up with a really lightweight wheel set, so it's well, I think it's a light wheel set. Cross-country people won't, but compared to your standard enduro or trail wheel set. So I've got this is a XM421, so like DT Swiss kind of lightish weight trail rim. It's got Sapim CX-Way spokes, really lightweight spokes on a Hope single speed, a specific single speed Hope rear hub. You don't have to run a specific single speed rear hub, but you can if you want, and it sort of looks a bit better. The front is a 6th Element, sadly a company that's gone bust since, doing carbon wheels, but it's a 6th Element front wheel, really lightweight, again Hope hub, lightweight rim. Both of them run in Schwalbe, what are they? I think, does it say what they are? Wicked Wheel, Knobby Nick. So Knobby Nick a little bit more knobbly, Wicked Wheel a bit more faster rolling, but they're kind of light trail tyres. You know, they're relative good amount of grip, relatively tough casing, but lightweight. I think they're sort of 700-800 grams. So makes it a really fast rolling bike, flies along, but some of our local trails are quite rocky and rough, and in the past I had real issues with running lightweight tyres and smashing rims. So I've got Cushcore both front and rear on this bike, Cushcore trail, Cushcore cross country in both the front and rear of the bike, which allows me to run, so I run maybe 20 PSI front, 23, 24 in the rear, so I can run lowish pressures on fast rolling tyres and still not smash the wheels if we go through rocky stuff. So for the trails we ride, it's amazing. It's really fast. It's a little bit sketchy compared to running enduro tyres. On the rocks, it gets bounced around, but we're doing it for fun, aren't we? So make it exciting. This bike is so exciting to ride. So other bits, we've got Hope headset. Can't go wrong with a Hope headset. Works forever. Brakes. It's got a set of Magura. I don't even know what number are they. MT8s, I think they are, which are their relatively high-end cross-country brakes. So with 180 discs, single pot, plenty of power for what I need for them, and the calipers are in a lovely shiny silver, so it goes with the colour scheme. Bike yoke dropper post, can't really beat a bike yoke dropper post, really reliable. I think, it's not going to go up now. I think I've got a 185 on this bike, which is good for me. Push that down. What else we got? Middleburn cranks. Yeah, Middleburn cranks. I love them. Beautiful shape, really strong. Never had any issues with them. The aesthetics, the shiny silver goes really well with this build. One really special part I got on this bike is a Rust titanium stem. So Rust was a company that when I first started Starling, he was prototyping some titanium bars. And he was also doing custom etching on them. So this has actually got custom etched Starlings and the Starling logo on it. So they're beautiful, but sadly, he never really made the company happen. So luckily I've got a pair of these bars and they're lovely. The titanium's got a bit of flex in it, so it's quite nice. Saddle, physics saddle. I'm pretty indifferent about saddles. I get on with most of them, so that's good. Little light to help get me home if I've been riding too late in the woods. Holsroy stainless steel bottle cage, which is really good and actually holds the bottle really well. Holsroy bottle. I think that's it. What else we got? Some Bergtech, just there, plastic pedals. Been running them for years and no issues at all. They're even the bearings are pretty good, and these are 5-10 years old. So yeah, a few special bits, a few kind of bog standard bits, but overall a sort of relatively lightweight trail build, but with the cush core in there allows you to hit the rough stuff really hard without risking damaging the bike and keeping control. But I suppose the only other thing is it needs a good service. The shock is on its last legs. I've probably ridden this shock for 6-7 years on different bikes and it's getting a bit squeaky. The forks could do with a big service. I've just actually replaced all the discs and pads because they were getting a bit, but I suppose it's indicative of this bike that it's actually pretty clean now. Normally I'll go for a ride, come home, it's normally muddy, hose it down, it goes in the shed, pull it out, pump up the tyres or adjust the tyre pressures, bit of oil on the chain, go. And I'll do that twice a week, and, all the time, and it just keeps going. We never have any issues with this bike. So this yeah, absolute zero maintenance, but just keeps going. Although occasionally I need to do something a bit more serious. But that's it, my bike, I love it.
Why do you love single speed so much?
Single speed is just really engaging and lively, and it's sort of, the pace you have to ride at is very different. So you cruise down, if you're riding down a road, a steep road, you just have to roll down, you can't pedal, so it's sort of relaxing on that. But then when it comes to climbs, you have to sprint up climbs. Like most of the ride I do, this saddle is down because you're stood up out the pedals, pushing up. And then when it comes to sort of flowing single track, every corner you come out of, you can stamp on these pedals as hard as you like and the chain isn't going to slip, and it just has that direct feeling. And you've taken away, you're never thinking about gears, because there are no gears, you just don't think about them. You just think about making the bike move, and you think about pumping the terrain more and carrying speed through corners. It just makes the riding experience more exciting, and that's why we're doing it, isn't it? It's for excitement.
Right, done.
Excellent.